Start with Katherine Webber from Queensland. Katherine received a fellowship in 2018 to increase the accessibility of public toilets by researching taboos, design, policy and legal barriers, and she travelled to the Netherlands, Germany, UK, US and Canada. Katherine, talk to us about public toilets.
Only if I have to. I think public toilets are the most important piece of infrastructure in our public spaces and probably the most underrated. They support individual and collective public health, as well as physical activity, economic development and tourism outcomes. Yet instead of being seen as integral to the urban fabric, they are often not prioritised or seen as a liability. This can have dire consequences for the inclusion and participation of our cross-section of our community. I heard from a wheelchair user who was unable to close the door of an accessible toilet and not being able to accompany their child to a toilet. I heard from an elderly couple who couldn't leave their home because there was no toilets along their transport route. Parents telling their children to go in the bushes because the playground doesn't have a toilet. And the fear experienced by a trans person when they have to choose which gendered toilet to go into. All of these experiences and many more can result in people reducing their food and water intake or restricting their mobility. And this impacts the places that they can use and access, whether it be work, education, entertainment, recreation, shopping, or even government buildings. Going to the toilet and accessing public toilets is a basic human need, a human right, and essential to dignity. As part of my Churchill Fellowship, I travelled to a number of countries that are looking at toilets differently. Berlin, Germany undertook a citywide toilet assessment and are working with industry to design and install the Berliner toilet to ensure equitable access across the city. In Portland, Oregon, the Portland Loo was designed in partnership with the community and meets a range of user needs, including the urban unhoused. The local government also developed the All-User Restroom Challenge, adapting existing toilets to be more inclusive. Government agencies and businesses participated and over 600 toilets were adapted in the first year alone. In Ottawa, Canada, I met with an advocacy group working to get public toilets included in the planning of a new transit project. The initial design had not included any toilets along the whole route. This group, called Gotta Go Ottawa, also ran pilots to put accessible toilets in parks. This demonstrated local community need, often influencing government to spend money in the area. These are just a few of the examples of the many conversations I've had. To ensure the public toilets are adequately considered and provided for in our public spaces, I'm calling on planners, designers, health professionals, businesses and governments to work together. I have 3 recommendations. First, to provide national leadership on the endorsement and promotion of national public toilet principles that reflect the value and benefit that public toilets provide. Secondly, to coordinate a national working group with representatives from all states and territories to improve the planning and provision of public toilets. This will include clear roles and responsibilities for the provision of public toilets. And thirdly, imagine the impact if all federally funded infrastructure projects that would be used by members of the public included a public toilets needs assessment. These will go a long way to supporting my vision of a network of inclusive, accessible toilets across Australia. Thank you.